All right. Well, good morning. Again, we're part of Easy Marketing, and if you're just joining us, welcome to part two of our workshop. And we invite you back for the rest of them in our email marketing series. We know your time is short, so let's dig right in. If you missed part one, if you're just joining us, let's revisit for a moment the idea of first impressions in the customer's inbox. So as with life, first impressions matters. When someone opens your email, they're going to give it maybe a 2-second glance and then either decide to read on or just delete it. So what they see at that first glance is really going to determine what they do next. So maybe you want them to visit your website, register for an event, donate to your nonprofit, or try a new product. This is where a professional looking email designed to drive action is crucial. So let's compare a couple emails based just on first impressions. So here we're going to look at the difference between sort of a regular email that you might send from Gmail or Outlook or your Yahoo account and one sent through an email service provider like Constant Contact. So notice the difference. Which one do you think stands out and looks better at first impression? If you're still using simple text-based emails like the one on the left, you're really not doing your marketing any justice. The email on the right, I know exactly what it's about. It's professional, it's brief, it's eye-catching, and emails like this are simple to put together and worth the return on investment. And today we're going to show you how. Email marketing has 7 essential design elements. If you are able to conquer these 7, then you're going to have mastered the art of creating professional, effective email marketing tools. So I'm going to cover each element in turn briefly, and then Katrine is going to give us a live demo and show you how to quickly pull these different elements together to create your reusable master template. So first up is the header. So the header encompasses all the information that recipients see before they decide to open your email. That makes it a critical gatekeeper. People typically get hundreds, sometimes thousands of emails a day. So if they don't recognize you as the sender, or if the subject line fails to entice them, your email is going to get ignored or deleted without even being opened. This section is arguably the most important and definitely the most misunderstood and misused. So we're going to devote our entire next workshop, the full 20 minutes, just to email headers. A couple of tips we can share with you today are to use a consistent from address that's recognizable. So something with a company name, not just an individual. And you also want to spend some time writing compelling but brief subject lines and pre-headers. So we're going to cover all that and more in our next workshop in 2 weeks. Today, let's think about branding. So this makes your emails easily recognizable and gives them a consistent look that people can identify at a glance, even without reading the text. So first, you're going to want to place your logo at the top, left, or at the center. This is the first thing that your subscribers see within the body of the email. So people do a lot of shopping online now. They're really used to clicking on images. So you're going to want to make sure that your logo is turned into a clickable link that takes readers directly to your website. And Katrine will show you how. It's also important to use your brand colors. And by that, we don't mean red and black. We mean the specific hex value of the colors used in your logo or by your organization. So if you don't know the specific brand colors, you can use a free color matching tool like ColorCop or Digital Color Meter to identify the exact colors in your logo or on your website. So together, the logo and the brand colors are going to help establish consistency throughout your emails. Once you've set up your master template with these branding elements, then you're going to want to select a compelling image. Photos bring your marketing communications to life and grab the reader's attention. There should be an image in every email you send. You're going to want to choose one that supports the specific message. So if you're having a sale include a clear image of the product or perhaps an image of someone using the product or service. If you're promoting upcoming events, maybe a picture from last year showing all the fun that people had. Just like with your logo, you're going to want to make sure that your supporting image also is clickable and that it goes to the same place as your call to action, which we're going to cover in just a moment. And this image is going to be something that you change out for each new email that you create. So next, let's talk text, because the main goal is to inspire some action from your reader. You really want to give a special attention to your headline. Every email needs a headline that captures the reader's attention and lets them know what the email is about. So we recommend a 22-point font in one of your brand's colors. Then once you've piqued their interest with your headline, the message body is where you provide more detail about the offer. It's where you give them information to help them take the next step. Here again, you want to keep it short and sweet, just a paragraph typically, and definitely no more than 20 lines of text so you don't overwhelm your readers. There's one thing we've learned, they have short attention spans. The message body needs to be big enough to be read on those tiny little cell phones. So a minimum of 14 to 16 point font is what we recommend. And also a dark text on a light background, like what you see here, is best for readability. And finally, don't get too fancy schmancy and overdo it with the fonts and the colors. When you try to emphasize everything, you don't emphasize anything. It's just too distracting. So we recommend that you choose no more than 2 fonts, typically maybe one for the headline and one for the body text, and make sure that that formatting is consistent throughout your emails. Once you finish with your text, then you need to decide how are we going to get people to take action. So let's talk about how to do that. When it comes to designing your emails, you never want to send one without asking your audience to do something. We call that the call to action. So you might be asking people to buy something, to register, to volunteer, to request more information. Whatever it is, the call to action is the point of the email. So you don't want to make it hard for people to find. We like to always use a button, a call to action button, to grab their attention, make it easy to click on and take the action that you want. You can make your button pop with a contrasting brand color that complements your email. And be sure to use verbs and action words on your button that are going to engage the audience. So things like order today, register by April 1st, request a copy, download our guide, something that starts with a verb and encourages them to click the button and take action. And when you do have that button in the supporting image, you want to make sure that they point to the exact place on your website you want them to go. So if you're trying to get them to purchase a product, you're going to take them directly to that product page. You don't want to send them to the home page and then they have to figure out how to navigate your website. People just aren't going to do it. They're just going to close out of the window and forget about your message. So send them exactly where they need to be. The image, the paragraph, and the call to action all work together to get your audience to take action. So let's talk about the last element of your email, and that's the footer. So think of this as sort of a stamp of useful information at the bottom of your email. Every email needs a footer with some basic contact information. And the best part is you can set that up once in your reusable master template and sort of forget about it. You only need to change it if something big changes with your company, like you get a new address, a new phone number, something like that. So things to include would be your phone number, email, website, hours of operation if you're a brick and mortar, and definitely some social media buttons so that people can get in touch with you if they have more questions. So there you have it, folks. Those are the 7 elements of a professional and effective email design. So now you're ready to create your reusable master template, and I'm going to turn it over to Katrine to show you how. So Katrine, I'm going to make you the presenter.
Yes, it says show my screen. And which screen are you seeing?
Yeah, we see your constant contact page.
Perfect, perfect. So the idea here and the name of the workshop is to create your first email in 15 minutes. So if you participated last time, or you can go back and watch that video, you could see how I started from absolutely scratch and we created the first template. And today we're going to just dive a little bit deeper. And what Dixie talked about was also the content, how to best, what to think about when it comes to the content debate. So we are going to pick up really where we were last time. So I am going to open up more or less what we had last time. I'm only going to repeat a few things if you were not with us, because these are somehow the most important parts. So up here, we usually have a logo. So if you start from scratch and don't have anything, over to the left is that image box. So we're going to just simply pull the logo in, or a box in, and then I have a folder on my computer that you can see right now. And I can actually simply take the logo I have prepared. I can simply drag and drop that in here. And here we have our logo, and we are going to make it large and big so people see the branding right away. And then Dixie talked about how important it is that the logo goes to your website. So I'm clicking on the website right here. And this is, of course, is a made up company here. So I'm just simply right clicking and saying copy for that link. And now we're going to go in. We have the image highlighted. I click on link. This is going to a website. I right click and I say paste. And now anyone that comes and reads your email, and they take for granted that if they click on your logo that it's going to take you to the home page. And the next part we have in here, I just put a big empty space here, is the images. And we talked about different ways to import them, because all those images, by me dragging this, it's actually on Constant Contact server, because that's how people can see it when they open up your emails. So I can simply go in here and look at my images, or I can click on the image holder and click on replace. And we have a library, and I have uploaded images before, so we're simply going to go in and take one of those. Okay. And as she said, it's important that all the images for call to action go somewhere. So people actually more often click on an image than they click on a button. So you will do the same thing with the image, but this time it will go to where your call of action is going. The next part is the text. I have simply pulled in one of those text blocks. You can see now I have two of them. We only need one, so I can go to do undo. And then we're going to take a look at, because often you might have someone sending you a Word document with the content, or you wrote it in a Word document. And it's a good way to do that, because then you get the spell checking. So you can go in, right click and say copy. And here is the thing. If you now highlight the text here and simply remove it, and then you click on right click and paste, you guys see what's happening? It is giving me the same tiny little Times New Roman font I had in here, which we don't want. So we want to have the font that was already in here. So what you can do is you simply remove it, and when you paste, instead of choosing paste, you choose paste as plain text, because then it's going to pick the paste and the font and the size that is in the template for this. And another thing we talked about was the branding. So this is our logo, and when we created this last week, we took a pre-made template that we thought would work good for us because it has its placed settings. But we really don't like the border to be that red. We want it to be more orange. So I'm going to show you the third tab up to the left, and that's the design. So here I can actually change the pattern to something completely different. But most important here is I want to change the color. I would like to have something that is probably more orange, but you can take any color you want. I'm going to leave it right here. But that's how you change the color of the background. But the buttons and dividers here, they are all having this red color, and we are going to go in and take a color that is more orange. So these are important parts. And here you have also the font size. So Dixie said at least 14 to 16. Can you see how when I'm going to the left, run from size to size, and then it changes in my document. And if you have a document with a lot of text, you might want to go down to 16, maybe 14, but if it is short and sweet like this one, 18 or 20 will actually do really well. So I feel that those were the most important parts of what we discussed today. And as she said, next week or in 2 weeks, we are going to look at the details of the header, because that's where what people are going to see on their phone or in their inbox, and that is going to make them open or delete your email.
Thank you, Katrine. That was really helpful. And if you want to see more, or if you're not sure how to get started, we're going to give you our contact information at the very end. Okay, Katrine, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Great. All right. Well, next, I just want to tell you a little bit about Constant Contact. So that was the program that Katrine used in her demo today. It was ranked the best email marketing service of 2021, and we have been recommending it for years to all of our small business and nonprofit clients. So if you're not using it and you'd like to give it a try, you can use this link for 30% off your first 3 months. And also, Easy Marketing will help sort of kickstart your email marketing by creating your first master reusable template for you. So with that, we're going to open it up to questions. So you can type them right in the box. Comments are welcome too about anything to do with email marketing. So we'll give you just a moment to do that. And I see we have one about the images. So what kind of images to use if we don't have one? Okay, so if you don't have an image of your product or service, an event, you don't necessarily want to use clip art. The most important thing not to do is just to do a Google search and take something off the internet, because you don't have the rights to use that. And also you don't know where else it might have been used. It might be something unsavory that you don't want linked to your company. So make sure that you're using a service where you're either buying for or getting images that you have the rights to use if they're not your own. And
Constant Contact also has some free and some very inexpensive images, and we actually covered that last session. So go back and look at part 1, and you can see how you can get images from Constant Contact.
Absolutely. And then there's a question about how to find your colors. So you can Google a free color matching tool. like ColourPop, for example, and that's going to help you find what are the exact colors in your logo and your website, because you don't want to pick them at random. You don't want to have sort of a reddish orange today and a bluish orange tomorrow. You want them to be consistent from time to time. So use that free color matching tool so that you can have that consistent template.
And since we had that question, if you read the follow-up email, I will actually record a little bit session exactly how to do that.
Great. Bonus
Mhm.
content. I like it. And if you think of any more questions, please just let us know. We'll be glad to answer those offline for you. So just a little bit about us. Katrina and I are with Easy Marketing. We've been in business for 21 years. We're located in Northeast Florida with clients throughout the US and abroad. So we specialize not only in email marketing, but also website design and maintenance, social media management, and graphic design. So we always do a little drawing after each webinar, and that's for a free consultation for your business or organization. So if you check your inbox later today, you'll be able to get that bonus content that Katrine talked about, and also I'll pull a drawing so you can check that to see if you've won. We'll include a copy of this slide deck if you want to share it with someone, and also a replay of this video if you want to see it again or share it with a colleague. So with that, we thank you for joining us. We invite you back in 2 weeks for a more in-depth look at the email header. So that's the gatekeeper, the elements that determine if your email is going to get opened or get trashed. It's free as always, so we hope you can join us. And that registration link will be in today's follow-up email. So here's our contact information if you need help getting started with email marketing or a consultation just to point you in the right direction. We do that. Here's our contact information. We're just a call away. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.